Hey, it's Lee. Gong Xi Fa Chai, or Happy Chinese New Year to all of you. For today's Tuesday trade tip, we are going to explore 10 wedding traditions and superstitions by the Chinese. Alright, so shall we begin?
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the...
So for the first one, when it comes to choosing the date of your wedding, usually this is decided during the Tinghun or the engagement ceremony in Chinese. If not, the couple would go to a feng shui expert wherein they will discuss, they will tell the feng shui expert their birthday, and then the feng shui expert will check on the right date, which the couple would be lucky. So they usually do that. I had a couple who did that. Actually, they had to decide on the date of the wedding based on the feng shui and based on birthdays. Generally, in the lunar calendar, the Chinese believe that the unlucky months are March, July, and September due to the following festivals like the King Ming Festival, the Ghost Festival, and the Double Ninth Festival. Because most of this, if not all three festivals, are related to death, so most of the time they consider this unlucky. If the couple wants to be lucky, sometimes they decide to go on months wherein it's harvest time, harvest or abundance, the Run Yue. I hope I said that correctly. Alright, so they also consider the lucky numbers for the dates as well, such as number 2. Usually 2 is a good number for a couple because it's double the joy, double the luck, and double the fortune. That's why 2 is a very lucky number for Chinese weddings. Of course, there is number 8, the infinity number. To most of us, is actually the luckiest number, not just because of how it looks like, but its pronunciation in Chinese means prosper. Alright, plus it also means unending. And then another lucky number is the number 9. So this usually in Chinese equates to long lasting, and that's why it's a lucky number. Alright, the unlucky numbers, they usually are 4 and 7. So usually couples avoid the 4th, the 14th, the 24th, the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th, because in Chinese culture, this usually is equated or related to death. Okay, so for the next one, you don't really have to have a Chinese themed wedding to have red in your wedding, but usually the red color has to be at least be part of your decoration, because red means something red means extra luck and measure. So either you have a red wedding decor, or maybe like red in the tablecloth or the napkins, or you have red happiness signs, those stuff. So that's why for Chinese, instead of something blue, usually it's something red. Something red is more important when it comes to Chinese weddings. For this tradition, before the wedding, there's this family tradition where people have to decorate the bed of the couple. Alright, so usually this is done by the bride's family, wherein they choose a blessed person who will decorate the couple's new bed with red bedding with a double happiness sign for good luck. Or if not from the bride's family, at least a woman who was considered fortunate, someone who is still married and happily living with her spouse, who would be performing it. Then also, of course, it can also be done by a female relative of the groom, again with a good disposition, with a good life. Alright, sometimes they would go to the extent of placing other red decorations, such as, but not limited to, lily bulbs, 2 red envelopes, the hongbao with money in multiples of 9. Sometimes they put dried light cheese, of course, peanuts in their shells, and Chinese red dates. All of these are usually placed on the bed because they all represent fertility. And then, aside from the color red, if you like, there are other colors such as purple, gold, and pink added to the decorations. Those are considered lucky colors in Chinese as well. But mostly red is the Chinese color for luck. Another thing that should be red when it comes to traditions or Chinese tradition is a red umbrella. This red umbrella has to be new. Not old, it really has to be new. As the bride goes outdoors, the maid of honor must be the one walking with the bride, and under this red parasol, she has to shade the bride. The red parasol is equated to fertility. The red parasol, it should not be old, borrowed, or gifted, alright? They have to buy it. The couple has to buy it, because if it's not new, if they didn't buy that, it translates to giving the luck away. So after the wedding event, couples should keep that red umbrella to maintain good luck and fertility in their household. So regarding this shoe tradition, it has to be new as well. So this is a very old custom in Chinese traditions, wherein when a matchmaker informs the family of the groom and the groom itself of the bride-to-be whom he hasn't met, the matchmaker would bring the shoes of the bride, and then the family of the groom, to make sure that the matchmaker was true and didn't falsify anything during this one, or didn't change the bride on the day of the wedding. What the family of the groom does is make new shoes to be given to the bride. So it's kind of like a Cinderella notion, I guess, in a way. This is to prove that the matchmaker did the correct thing as well. So that's where the tradition of the new shoes came from. Plus, the shoes also shows the standard beauty. Well, during that time, small feet shows the standard beauty of a bride. So for the next wedding tradition is tears of joy and luck, meaning the couple are allowed to cry when they see each other during the wedding day, because in Chinese tradition they believe that this is considered lucky, as they believe the bride to be or the groom to be won't have tears during the wedding. So that's why they allowed the bride and groom to cry on the day of the wedding. So the next one is technically a no-brainer, because we do this in the Philippines, right? In the Philippines we have tradition wherein we make sure that the bride and groom doesn't see each other. So the Chinese culture also has something like that, alright? So for them, in ancient times when arranged marriages was the major thing for weddings, the simple explanation for this one is that it's inappropriate for the bride and the groom to meet before the wedding, or to see each other the day before the wedding. For us Filipinos, usually it's a bad omen if they see each other on before the actual wedding ceremony, right? So for Chinese, it's just that it's simply inappropriate. But for me as a wedding planner, whether you believe in the superstition or not, the reason why I inform my couple that it's better they don't see each other at least before the wedding ceremony, because of the surprise look. I mean, the makeup and everything. It's like you're excited, so that everything, when you see your bride for the first time, especially for the groom, they would really feel all the awe and the beauty of it. So the beauty of their bride, at least. So that's why usually we don't allow the bride and the groom to see each other as much as possible. Okay, so this one is more on the feng shui side. Usually in feng shui, it's better that you look for a venue that is light and bright, or at least with great lighting, with large windows as much as possible, because the more light, the more bright the room is, or the brighter the room is, it only shows that the couple will have a brighter future. When it comes to the wedding gown, as much as possible, it's not pure white. It could be like off-white or at least ivory, as long as it's not pure white, because if it's pure white, according to Chinese tradition, it will reflect death. So as much as possible, if you can have cream or other alternative for your wedding dress, better. You can also use pale gold or pink for your wedding gown, if you believe in this tradition or feng shui idea of not wearing white on your special day. For something borrowed, when you're gonna borrow something from someone, make sure you borrow it from a person who had a good life, all right? You have to make sure that the person you're borrowing from has a very stable marriage. They have a happy life, a good life, not just as a couple, but as a person. This will ensure that there will be good energies of the person. There will be good energies for the couple, as the thing that they borrowed from was from a person with good nature. All right, so there you have it. Those are 10 basic wedding traditions from Chinese weddings. So I hope you learned something from me, and carpe diem, and see you in the next video. Bye.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through.